Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. And yeah, my name is Denny Chess, and today we will discuss about a board game. Um, wait, how do I game? Yeah, this one board game. So, what is board game? Board game is game on board, right? A mobile game that you can carry anywhere, but it's offline, right? You can play it by yourself or with your friend. It's also game that has an actual materials that you can touch, from the board, from the what is it called, the token that you need to put, right? And yeah, so that's basically what board game is. And uh I like playing games, and I have been playing games since I was kid. And um you know sometimes I just want to make my own game, right? Just do it yourself, make my own game, right? And when I was in elementary school, I actually made my own game. It's like adventure basically, because when you play arcade game in uh when we were kid, right? So the plot was quite simple, right? So you are the main character, and then you need to go to the final goal, right? And to go there, you go to through some adventures, right? You find some monsters, um, you know, that you need to defeat, right? And to do that, you need some items, right? Like for instance, maybe rocks, maybe some sword or some shield, right? Some protection armor and stuff like that, right? So here in my elementary school, I started doing this, and I start making my own board game. And I use like bombs instead of those swords. So I use bombs, basically like handmade granite, to throw into the enemy, right? So I collect this throughout the entire map. um, and the map is basically a maze, right? I created the map in maze, so that the maze has lots of dead ends, has lots of every path has things, right? And you can put some like enemies in there also, like stuff like that, right? Basically like the maze, right? And yeah, so I created this, like I can, maybe there is a bomb over here that I can take, and then there's one over here, but there is some monsters over here that I need to defeat to get these rewards and stuff like that, right? So I make that simple game basically. And then like another item that can heal my HP, because yeah, apparently I do consider some health point system also in this case. Like for instance, if I fail to defeat this creature or monster within maybe 2 hits, then this creature will start attacking back, right? Maybe I have 10 out of 10 HP, and then this will start dealing 1 every of those occasion. Like, then I just increase decrease my HP by 1 and stuff like that, right? So it's simple. But yeah, that's like my I've been making my own game since I was elementary school. Like it's just the idea. So I use my pencil, because kids back then can only use pencil, and also my paper, which is from my book. I just use this in my math book basically, because math book has there's this like squares, like right, like these tiles that um you know uh at least here we have this kind of book that has tiles where you can each tile is each tile has one, no, not one, more like 1 centimeter or 0.5 centimeters, the size of the squares over here, so we can do that without have we can draw stuff without using ruler basically. And yeah, there's that. That's why I use this book. And but the thing is that this book is not used quite often, right? Because it's only for math, and that lesson of the math is not there all the time, right? We don't use this all the time also. Then but yeah, because I still have lots of blank pages, then I started to draw this and the game that I mentioned earlier, right? Because it's also quite easy to make maze, because this has already has tiles, right? You can make bold color with your pencil, so that to identify which is the walls and which is the clear path, right? And yeah, there's that. But recently, when I graduated, well, not really graduated, it's more like earlier this year. um I have some free time, right? I i tried my own game, because I tried to make this simple. So I had this idea from the survival games that I played, which is I like playing survival games, right? And therefore the game's also revolving around that. um Basically the goal is to have to survive, right? The goal is to survive. But what is survive, right? In this case, the goal is to have food and water and then fire. Um, at at least 10 points of them, or 10 tokens of them. And yeah, if I have 10 of this, then I won the game, right? And also, like, if I have max upgrade for my house, also on top of this, right? So yeah, this is like the goal that I made, because survival is about food, right? You have food, then you're fine. You have water, then you're fine. You have fire, then you'll find during the night. And if you have house and your house is upgraded into maximum, then you're also fine, right? And that's all that define that I can survive the survival games, right? And that's my goal. So and then it comes to how do I get food, how to get water, right? And yeah, I divided into three biomes. Basically, this one is the land, which is the place for house. You can build house if you have wood and stuff like that, right? Um, and then there's also this is land, and then there's this river, because it's logical, right? If you're surviving, then you want your place to be as close to river, right? For the water, and also fish, and that fish will be our food basically. um so there's lots of fish in the river, and then you can get food from here, right? But on top of that, because this is a river, there's also water, right? You can get water from here. And then the last one is the forest biome, which you can get wood from cutting down trees, right? That makes sense, right? And then the trees, because it's forest, so we can assume that there will be unlimited trees over here for us, right? Right? Um, Although that's not the case, right? We cannot just have infinite trees, right? Maybe we can plant, but yeah, that's not the variable that I took into making this. And yeah, we can get wood from this, but also because this is forest, then we will have chances to meet monsters or creatures, right? And yeah, and then I also need fire for the night, to add into some mechanics. If I don't have fire, then I will lose my health points, and also that can attract monsters to come into the house or my land, right? Or safety place, right? And yeah, that's basically it for the biome. And you know then how do I get this, right? What mechanics, right? And I just did a dice roll, because if you know board games, most of them are revolved around RNG, and then the RNG that we can get offline is through dice, right? You know, just dice, right? I use a three-sided dice, not three-sided, six-sided dice, and I just roll. If the outcome is one, then I can get one fish. And then if the outcome is two, then I can get one water, right? Then if I can get three and etc., right? Maybe I can get one food plus one water, or even I didn't get anything, right? Or in the extreme case, maybe number five. Um, if I land on five, then I got hurt by minus five health point probably, out of 100 HP, right? Maybe. And then if I get six, maybe I can get something else, right? And yeah, this is basically what my thinking was, because we need to make it simple, right? Um, so I use these simple dice for each biome, and then we can only do limited amount of rolls, which is tied into action points. Um, like action points, we get maybe five, and then rolling dice will take one action, right? Or we can also get the safe side, like maybe using two action point in river to automatically get one food plus one water probably, right? This is guarantee, right? But this can cost expensive more than the dice roll, right? Which is only one each roll. And yeah, I took that as variable. That's for the river, right? And then for the forest, because lots of trees, right? So maybe one is I get one wood, and then two is I get two wood, and then three I got nothing, and then four, I got nothing, but I also got tired, right? So I got minus one on food instead, because it took my energy to do that, right? To search for wood, right? Um, and then maybe if I get five or six, I have to fight monsters, right? And yeah, there's that. Um, so there's that this variable that I also input, and this is basically the forest, right? And then the land, there is not really there's not really anything about dice roll mechanic in the land, because the land option is we can build house um, for 10 wood, for instance, and also plus 5 food and then 5 water, for instance, because we need food and water to build stuff, right? Because we need to eat, we need to drink, and etc., right? To have the energy to build the house. And then I can also use like a fishing trap, um, so that every day I can get free food, free one food for each of this trap, right? And the trap has like uh you know maybe I can use five wood to craft one, and then the maximum amount of trap that I can get is maybe three. I make that three, and then there's also like on top of that trap, there's also mechanics again with dice roll. I roll the dice every day. If it has uh you know maybe odd number, it means I can get one fish. If it's even, then I got zero fish, right? And stuff like that also I took into variable. And then on top of that, I can also build like wood catcher, I would say, like, so because this is the river, right? I have like some kind of dam over here that can block any materials that got carried away, right? And maybe in river you can find some logs, right? So the logs will get trapped in this wood catcher. I name it like that. And you can use the wood, right, by drying it, and then you can use that to make fire, right? And that's another mechanics. And also same as the fish, you can also get this with dice roll. Like maybe if it lands on one, you get one wood, otherwise you got nothing, right? And you can do that also. And then uh, we can also use some kind of a build rain catcher basically. Because if the rain falls in here, then it will flow down, and we can use this as our water, right? Water source. And because rain, again, we don't know when rain comes, so I use again dice roll into that. If it land on one on or two, then it will rain, and this will work, right? We can get one water, otherwise there's nothing else, right? So we got nothing. And there's a lot of stuff like that. Like the upgrade of the house. Well, this is not really a house, more like hut. I would say like wooden hut, where we can get from wood, right? Because we only need 10 wood, so it's only um only hut. And then we can upgrade this maybe by adding more 10 wood. Then we can have like some kind of fences that can protect us from random monster or creature encounter, right? And also, just make things works or things more comfortable so that we can get more sleep, which can increase our action point, for instance, from 5 to 6 every day, and or maybe 7 and stuff like that, so we can do more dice roll, right, to obtain more stuff, right? And yeah, I took that into variable also. But yeah, that's basically it about how to do it yourself a board game. And I really like that. I have the idea of the concept of uh of this with also the creature. Oh, we haven't talked about the creature, right? Well, let's talk about the creature. So because that's forest, maybe the creature is as simple as snake. um you know the snake will do 5 health point to you, minus 5 if you cannot kill this. And also, how do we kill this? Then I make it simple again with dice roll, right? If I land on one, I will hit 1 HP of the snake. Maybe the snake has 10 HP. If I deal 2, then maybe I deal 2 HP. If I deal 3, and again 3 HP. It's more like critical damage, right? And maybe if I deal 6, then I deal 0 damage, and the snake also attack me at the same time, which I can lose some HP. Or maybe 4 or 5, I did nothing, basically my attack missed, right? And yeah, also there's besides snake, because this is the forest, right? Maybe, just maybe, there's a bear uh that can also be harmful to you, right? This is the bear that can do harmful stuff to you. Like maybe this guy has 25 HP, for instance, right? And then you can also do like wolf. I did some wolf. That's all that I did basically. um so this is the wolf. And just make it uh you know has lots of power with only 10 HP. Maybe it will deal 10 HP to you each time it attacks, right? And stuff like that. Again, with dice roll, I used a lot of that. These mechanics, I mean. But yeah, that's basically it. And this is simple. I played this, I enjoyed it. Um, because I make my own game, right? And then every few runs that I take, then I start upgrading the game mechanics so that it can be more challenging and then more fun, right? Like for instance, I started adding stuff like, for instance, you can use wood to attack your wood item to attack the creature. Or you can get wood from the river, but you need to in to get that wood you need to exchange your food for that, for instance, because you need the energy to get the wood. So you need to exchange maybe one food for one wood and stuff like that. And then there's more creatures, multiple creatures, and then uh extending my goal. For instance, like I said, I only need food, water, fire, and maximum upgrade, right? Maybe I can add wood also as that material basically to survive. And then I can add more stuff like random creature encounter, and then daily inventory check. Like if I don't have fire, then I lose HP. If I don't have food and water, I lose HP. And then there's also random encounter every night, and yeah, stuff like that, right? And yeah, every run I make more upgrades into it until I feel like it's challenging enough. Because making board game for me, it's to kill time, right? Basically, you play to pass the time, right? You don't want your game to be too short, but also you don't want your game to be too long to play, because that ruins the fun. Because usually or mostly you want board game to be finished in one sitting, right? In one sitting, you play, you finished, game over, and then you can redo it again, right? You don't want it to, one sitting you play and then you save, basically like save file, because so that you can continue at other time. But this is not the case, since this is board game. There's no save file, basically, right? Although I was thinking about making save file, um but that only works for upgrades, house upgrades, and then inventory of food, water, and wood and stuff like that, right? But that's quite difficult because you need more mechanics for that, right? Even though I was thinking about adding that, to put the tokens into one place to represent my current save file, right? So I can wrap this so that each time I open this box or thing, I know I have this amount of food, this amount of water, and stuff like that, right? So I can continue my journey. But that will be more difficult to make. But also, when you don't really play and finish game in one sitting, you will most likely forget about that, right? And you just want the field to start over, right? So that's basically it. And yeah, I guess that will be it for today's episode about making your own board game. um that's how I do my game, my board game that I made myself since the beginning of the year. I work like maybe 2 months and then I just don't touch it again because I kind of feel bored. I want something new, and I was at the point where I think my game is great enough to be played like that with that mechanics. I don't want it to be over complicated. Um, I just so I consider it finished, and I don't upgrade again. Maybe I can make another one, but yeah, that maybe is for the future. Probably we can make our game that we can all play, right, with you guys. I can share that so that we can play it like offline, right? And then play it in our play by ourselves, but it's as a whole community we can play together. But yeah, that's just my thought about that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode about making your own game, and I will see you again tomorrow with another discussion. And goodbye.